after last night's game, folks, there is work to do. I left some touchdowns out there. Sounds like a man on a mission. Joining us now at the desk is our NFL, college, all-around expert in everything, Danny Cannell. Thank you for joining us. We start the debate, and I'll start with you first, Skip. Do you think, looking at Peyton Manning after last night, Indianapolis is thinking, gosh, we sure do miss him. We made a mistake.
I don't know what they're thinking, but I'm going to think for them. Indianapolis made a huge mistake, especially the owner, when he eased Peyton Manning out the back door, in large part because he thought Peyton Manning would never get healthy again. Obviously, Andrew Luck has been very good so far. I'm not going to say great, but he's been very good. He looks like he could become great. This is a win-now business. And I'm going to say that last year, the Colts would have had a 50% better chance of advancing in the playoffs with Peyton Manning at quarterback for that team. Now, clearly, he would have hurt the salary cap. But somehow John Elway has worked around his salary cap. I don't know how, but he's built a hellacious football team around Peyton Manning. And I point out to you, Peyton is playing right now maybe his greatest football ever at age 37. And I also point out that at age 39, that guy Brett Favre had arguably his greatest season ever. Peyton says he's healthier than he's ever been. So all of a sudden I'm thinking he could play at 37 this year, 38 next year, 39 the next year. You might get 4 or 5 years. You might win 2 or 3 Super Bowls. Do you really think in Indianapolis you're going to win 2 or 3 Super Bowls with Andrew Luck? Sorry, Indy.
I think if you give Andrew Luck some of the weapons that Peyton Manning has in Denver, I think he looks dramatically different as well. And I think the fact that you said he wasn't great, he was only good, with what he did last year, setting NFL passing record of passing yards, I think that's a little harsh criticism.
Yeah, he had the second most turnovers in the league last year to one franchise.
Exactly, because he was a rookie. He's still growing up. He's still learning. I mean, Peyton Manning, his rookie year was atrocious as well. Had more interceptions than him. I think when you look at it, I mean, I kind of like, I'm sure you guys dabble in stocks a little bit. What happens if you try to hang on to that stock too long? You know, you say, I'm going to try to sell it at the very high point, at its peak. You hang on too long, all of a sudden it's in the gutter and it's done. It's past its prime.
Let's not go.
That's what
already happened to me.
That's
why you shouldn't play the stock market at all.
Oh, right. I've had my share of wins, but I had a rough patch a couple of years ago. It hasn't been rough this year.
And that's why I think the Colts timed it perfectly. Andrew Luck was a once-in-a-lifetime type opportunity. I mean, the hype around him, which he has lived up to, as being a sort of John Elway, Marino, Montana, all wrapped into one. I think he's got that. And they're going to have him 10 to 12, 13 years down the road, much longer.
They're going to have Peyton for 5 more years.
Here's the thing, too. I don't think people realize Peyton, with the offensive line that Andrew Luck had last season, would have been in trouble, too, because he doesn't have the mobility that Andrew Luck has.
But he gets rid of it quick.
He does.
You know what, Skip Bayless? I find it very, very interesting. You know, you're a funny dude.
Mm-hmm. I am funny.
Peyton Manning, 37, 38, 39. I mean, he could win multiple Super Bowls.
He could.
Has it happened yet? No. No, it hasn't happened yet, Skip Bayless. Andrew Luck is 13 years younger than Peyton Manning. So, that does not have spinal surgery that he had.
4 of them.
4 of them, mind you. Hasn't had to miss the entire 2011 season like Peyton Manning has. Peyton Manning is phenomenal. Peyton Manning is a future Hall of Famer. Peyton Manning is great. No one is disputing that. But the Indianapolis Colts, if we listen to Skip Bayless, we would think they're the Jacksonville Jaguars. These dudes went 11-5 last year. Regardless of the rough patches that Andrew Luck had, clearly this dude has proven he was worthy of being the #1 pick. Right now, he's completing about 65% of his passes. Only has 1 interception on the season in the first 3 games. Has a QBR, your favorite stat, of 77, which is comparable to Peyton Manning's right now. This dude right here is 24. He's the #1 overall pick from last year without the drama. Nobody's calling him selfish. Nobody's saying he's unfocused. Nobody's accusing him of usurping the authority of Chuck Pagano. Nobody's doing anything. All this boy has done, this young man, Andrew Luck, has walked in as the successor to the greatest regular season quarterback of all time in your estimation, as one of the all-time greats, and He's balling. And, oh, by the way, they went 11-5. They played a grand total of one less week than the Denver Broncos. They lost in the wild card game to Baltimore. The Denver Broncos lost in the following week. And, oh, by the way, the only reason they had a shorter week than the Denver Broncos, is because they played in the wild card game. The Denver Broncos' first game was against Baltimore, and they lost too. So they both lost. They're both 0-1.
Okay.
Wait, hold on, wait. They're both 0-1.
I get it.
Since Peyton Manning has come back. I am not trying to say that Peyton Manning is not great. I'm not trying to say he's not better than Andrew Luck. I am trying to say whenever Peyton Manning walks away from the game of football, Andrew Luck is going to have at least 10 more years in the league. And, oh, by the way, they're not losing. What's the problem? What is the problem?
Question. The problem. In a vacuum, forget who these two players are, their teams. If I gave you a choice for 2012, 13, 14, 15, and 16 between Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning, which quarterback would you take?
You would pick Peyton Manning.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, close. Next question.